Hello and welcome to the Lynn Lowdown. I'm Dani Vittori, and today we have on the president of North Shore Community College back again to join us. Thanks for coming back on.
Thank you for having me, Dani. It's really exciting to be here. My name is Bill Heineman, and I'm the president at North Shore Community College. Been there about 2 years and 3 or 4 months now.
Well, I'm glad I didn't scare you off from last time, so thank you for coming back.
Absolutely. Glad to be here.
And you're coming back with something really exciting, MassReconnect, which is a pretty new state program. You want to tell us about it?
I really want to tell you about it. It's an incredible opportunity for students who are 25 years old or older. And really what it offers is if you don't already have a college degree, it will pay for tuition and fees and books and supplies that you would need to take courses to earn either a certificate or an associate degree.
Wow. I mean, that's an amazing thing to offer because you may have certain circumstances where you didn't go to school, or even just, like when I was 18, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I wanted the rest of my life. So it would have been great to maybe have a little bit of that extra time. Right,
and it's giving an incentive to rethink if that's sort of your experience where you didn't come to college right after high school, or maybe you did and it didn't go well, or you needed to stop for a while, and then you got busy, right? You get a job, you get a family, you get a life. But it gives folks an opportunity who are 25 and older to rethink, to think about coming back, and to be able to do it without cost in terms of the tuition and fees.
Mm-hmm. And are there any other additional requirements beyond being 25 or older?
Yeah, so there's some eligibility requirements. That first day of class, whenever that is for you, you must be at least 25. You have to have been a Mass resident for about a year, so that's important. You can't already have an associate's degree or a bachelor's degree. If you do, you're certainly welcome to come to North Shore, but you're not eligible for that program. It is required that you're going to fill out that federal financial aid form, which for folks who've been to college or their parents, they know that's a fun form to fill out, but it's important, and I can explain why in a little bit. And you have to enroll in at least 6 credits. Okay. So most college courses are 3 credits, and so that would mean 2 courses each semester.
And is there, I don't want to say time requirement, but do you have to complete the degree within a certain period?
You do. Okay. So if you're a full-time student, meaning you're taking at least 12 credits, which is the equivalent of 4 courses usually, you have 3 years to complete an associate's degree, which is normally 2 years it would take if you're full-time. So they give you an extra year. If you're part-time and going after an associate's degree, it would be 5 years.
Okay.
After that point, you can keep coming, but the state's not going to be paying for it anymore. And for certificate programs, you get 3 semesters. Normally it would take 2 semesters if you're full-time. And you get 5 semesters if you're coming part-time.
So you have a little bit of leeway in case you needed it.
Yeah, and even beyond that, they do have a waiver. So if maybe you had a tragedy or something in your life, you got interrupted, you can actually apply for a little more time than that. I think it would have to be an exceptional circumstance, but those happen.
Yeah, they definitely have been. And you mentioned the financial aid form. Why is that so important to fill out?
Yeah, really, really important. So here's something that I think people get confused when they hear free community college. So when we talk about MassReconnect, it's not really the same as like K through 12, where you just go to school, right? Nobody sends you a bill. Nobody sends your family a bill. Here, the bill is still there. And how MassReconnect works is if you add up the tuition and fee for each course that you're taking each semester, plus any cost for books or supplies, what MassReconnect is going to do is say, what other sources of financial aid are you getting? If you're getting federal financial aid, and we want you to check if you're eligible, and that's why you need to fill out the form, or if you're getting aid from another state program, such as Mass Grant, and any scholarships you're getting, right? So what MassReconnect is going to cover is the difference between the original cost and any of those other sources. So sometimes they call that a last dollar program. They cover the last dollars that you need. So it is free for the person, for the student, but there's some paperwork in terms of going after the other aid as well.
You have to have it listed, and you know if you're getting money from other places, you do have to have all the records.
Correct, and our financial aid counselors will help students walk through that. They're used to these kinds of programs. This is a big new one, and it's definitely generating interest out there, so they're going to be busy, but that's a good thing because it's a great program.
And it even says here you've already had 400 new students register.
Yeah, it's great because for the students who are already with us and are 25 or older, it applies to them too. So it was a bonus that they didn't even know they were going to get when they started with us. And yes, now we're attracting new students. And what's interesting is this program really only got passed into law about halfway through August, which is pretty close to the start of the fall semester. So we're excited to see what happens in future semesters because people didn't have a lot of time to think about it when it first happened. No,
they had less than a month to go, do I want to do this?
Right. And so one of the reasons I'm here today is to make sure people know about it. We have another major semester starting in January, and this is a great opportunity.
And for people who might be interested in getting involved, like what would the process look like? How would they begin it?
Yeah, so it depends a little bit on whether they've been a college student before or not, but basically you'd come and apply to the college as normal. It's a form that you can fill out online or in person. You'd fill out that financial aid form from the federal government, the FAFSA it's called, and our financial aid counselors would help them with that. And then you're going to go talk to academic advisors who are going to ask you questions like, what is it you're hoping to do with your degree or your certificate? Are you changing careers? Are you starting a new career? What would you like sort of the result of your time with us to be? And then they'll be able to connect you to the right college program.
Okay.
And then they'll figure out all those costs and make sure you pay nothing.
I mean, when I heard about the program, it's amazing to look at. I know I did a headline on it probably a few weeks ago or maybe a few months ago at this point. It is just an incredible opportunity. And I guess, what do you hope comes out of it beyond, more students getting engaged, but why do you think it is so important to have a program like this?
So I think this was an initiative that Governor Healy, our new governor, announced when she took office back in January. And here's what I think she's thinking, and I think she's right. When I walk around and talk to all the employers in Lynn and around the region, they've all got the same challenge. They're looking for people to come and work for them. We have a pretty significant labor shortage here in this region. It's actually a nationwide problem, but it's specifically difficult here. And I saw some data a couple weeks ago which indicates that problem's not going away for decades. A couple decades ago, people started having fewer children, and we're just a smaller group of people than we used to be. And so we've got this labor shortage. That's the first challenge. The second challenge is most new jobs today require something after high school. Isn't necessarily a college degree. It could be a shorter training program, but those tend to be really good for sort of entry-level jobs. If you're hoping to sort of move up higher up in a career, it's important to get some kind of college credential, and I think that's what she was thinking. We have to make it easier, and especially very large numbers of people who are 25 and older do not have one of those college credentials. So she said, look, we can help those people make more money, have a higher income, have a rewarding career, and we can try to solve this problem for our businesses and other employers that are struggling to find people.
Overall, it would help a very large portion of people, both the employers and the potential employees as well.
Correct. And it's actually a pretty modest investment. Sometimes people ask me, they say, this must be like incredibly expensive to the state. So they set aside about $20 million for this year for this program. There's 15 community colleges around the country, so they gave roughly a little more than $1 million to each community college. But think about it, we're already serving 300 or 400 students, and we've used only about a third of that money. So when you think about the difference between financial aid that already exists in the cost of a community college, which is much less than most four-year colleges, it doesn't end up being that much for most people. And so you're able to help a lot of people. It's a lot for them, but you know, in terms of $20 million, it goes a long way, and that's happening at all the other colleges around the state too, which means people are getting helped all over the place.
That's always fantastic to hear. And I know we have to wrap up in a minute, but is there anything else you wanted to say about this initiative or this program before?
So the other important thing to know is in that same set of laws that got passed in August, two other things got passed. One is free community college for nurses, anybody in a nursing program, and there's no age limit there. So that applies to younger students as well, and that's a recognition that we have a huge shortage of nurses. So terrific opportunity for people interested in that profession. The other thing is tuition equity, which is an opportunity for undocumented students to pay in-state tuition and fees. Right now they pay twice as much as what somebody who graduated from the same U.S. high school as they did because they're undocumented. This gives them that opportunity to pay the lower price and also gives them access to financial aid from the state. They're not eligible for financial aid from the federal government, but it does make college education much more affordable for undocumented students.
Wow, that's all just amazing things that are really trying to open the doors for people to get college credentials if they want to do so.
That's right, that's right. Trying to make it easy, trying to make it affordable.
Those are the two biggest things, and I want to thank you again for coming on to really tell us more about it and say some more about the program. You're very welcome, Dani. It was great to be here. Great, of course, anytime. And if it's something you're interested in, go and check it out. I'm Dani Vittori. This has been the Lynn Lowdown, and we'll see you next week.